প্রথম থেকে স্টার্ট করতে আমি একটু সামাজিক করবো তো ওটা যাবো।
এখান থেকে যাবো, এখান থেকে যাবো।
আচ্ছা, so we are now continuing the lecture of the previous class. Actually, we are discussing on cost of capital. We have already mentioned that what we mean by capital. It is basically the fund collected partly from equity shareholders and partly from borrowed funds. Equity shareholders are the actual owners. Also, there is another type of share which is issued, which is called preference shareholder. So, total fund is collected basically from three sources: equity share capital, preference share capital, and borrowed fund. In addition to that, there is another source of capital which actually owns by the equity shareholder. This is called internally generated fund. Now, what is internally generated fund? We have already mentioned that total fund, total profit that the company is earned is not always declared as dividend. In fact, our Company Act has prohibited it. According to Companies Act, whenever a company will declare dividend, it has to compulsorily transfer a particular percentage of the total profit earned in reserve fund. Reserve fund is a portion of the profit which has been kept intact in the business, which will be used by the company for other investment opportunities. Now, the percentage of transferring the amount to reserve fund will vary from 5% to 20%. A higher percentage is permitted if the board of directors decides. It is internally generated fund which remains within the business and it belongs to the equity shareholders. So there will be four sources from which the capital is collected. First one, equity share capital. Second one, preference share capital. Third one, internally generated general reserve. And fourth one is borrowed capital. So capital concept is over. Now we are moving to the concept of cost of capital. Second part, that is cost. Cost means expenses. So when the company is taking or collecting funds from its owner, the owner is expecting to get some money or return from the company. So that return the owner is expecting to get is nothing but cost of using the capital collected to the business. That is why it is called cost of capital. So now see what is cost of capital. Actually, when a investor has invested money in the business, he expects some return, minimum return from the company. If this return is not earned, then they will withdraw the money and they will invest it in some other profitable opportunities. So, company has to guarantee them that company will be able to give a minimum return which they can earn from best possible alternative opportunities. It can be higher than that, but it cannot be lower than that for the safety of the company. Therefore, the company has to ascertain what is the minimum cost of using the capital fund collected. This is actually considered as a cutoff rate. Cutoff rate means this is the rate which the company must have to earn whenever they accept a project. Because if they accept a project which provides lower return, then company will not be able to satisfy the investors. In that case, company's future existence will be at stake. So it is a very vital information for the company, and company has to correctly estimate the cost of capital. So now the question is, what is actually cost, cost of capital? Cost of capital, as defined, is the minimum rate of return that a company has to earn for survival. So, what is the minimum rate of return? This minimum rate of return will vary from one particular sources to another. It will depend upon the risk factor. If we consider the difference between borrowed capital, preferred share capital, and equity share capital on the basis of risk, then we will observe that borrowed capital has the lowest risk among them two, among these three. Why it is less risky? Because here the interest rate is guaranteed, it is payable even if there is a loss, and the principal money invested will be returned after a specified period of time. So that is why it is much less risky than other sources of share capital. Next, we are coming to the share capital. Among the share capital, two sources are preferred share capital and equity share capital. Internally generated reserve fund is also a part belongs to the equity share capital. So if we calculate the cost of equity share capital, that can be applied for calculating cost of reserve fund. Now, out of this equity share and preference share is considered less risky because in case of preference share, dividend rate is given. Whenever dividend is paid, their dividend will be paid first. Then whatever is left, that will be paid to the equity shareholder. Second point, normally preference shares are issued for a specific period of time after which the principal amount invested there will be returned. Therefore, it is less risky. And finally, when the company is in liquidation, the preferred shareholders will get their principal money back before equity shareholders. So due to this nature, preferred shareholders are considered much less risky than equity shareholders. So finally, we are coming to the equity shareholder. Their dividend is uncertain. It is not sure whether dividend will be received at all or not, and the principal amount is never returned by them. Therefore, in comparison among the different sources of capital, the less risky is borrowed capital, then preferred share capital, then reserve fund, and equity share capital. Now, borrowed capital is the lowest one as far as risk is concerned because not only the interest rate is guaranteed, but also companies get some benefit from borrowed capital issued. Already we have discussed that is our interest benefit, our tax benefit. Because whatever amount interest paid to them, that is considered as a taxable expenses. So the taxable expenses will be deducted and it will reduce the taxable income and as well as tax burden. Therefore, cost of borrowed capital is the lowest one. Next will come the cost of preferred capital and then cost of equal to share capital. They are combined to get the overall cost of capital. Thank you. So, we tell you more for the mathematical calculation.